This is the Miller Lite Cowboys Hour, supported by Albertsons and broadcasting live from Sidecar Social at the Star in Frisco. Brought to you by Miller Lite, the only beer of the Cowboys. Tastes like Miller time. Albertsons and Tom Thumb, the official supermarket and pharmacy of the Dallas Cowboys. Blue KC, the official bootmaker of the Dallas Cowboys. Blockchain.com, make your crypto play today. Buffalo Wild Wings. If it's game day, Buffalo Wild Wings is the place to be. Altec Lansing. Just listen with Altec Lansing, perfecting sound since 1927. And by Omni. Omni Hotels and Resorts, the official hotel of the Dallas Cowboys.
It's Victory Monday!
Now, your hosts, Nicole Hutchison and Brad Sham.
Welcome, everybody. We're back. Did you miss us? We're back. We're back.
I think they missed us.
You think they did?
I think so.
It's a double Victory Monday. How about that? How about double Victory Monday? We are so happy to have everybody with us on the Cowboys Hour this evening, and thank you to those of you who have come out. The Victory Monday fan club is here. A victory T-shirt. How about a sweatshirt? How about that? We find it all. And we're delighted to have you here. Thanks for coming out. Thank you for joining us wherever you are on the Dallas Cowboys Radio Network. Thank you very much for watching whenever and whenever. Streaming on DallasCowboys.com. Wave to him, Chauncey, in that little box. There you go.
One of these.
And the person waving, who on the radio, you could probably tell that was one of the greatest waves that you ever heard. We're delighted to have as our guest this evening Cowboys defensive end Chauncey Golston. Thank you for coming. Thank you very much. Now, Chauncey, I love Chauncey's story. I love the year you're having. There's just so much that we want people to get to know you a little bit better. Chauncey sat there with a great smile on his face. He said, "Thank you for having me." He did not mean a word of that. He does not want to be here, but he's a man of his word, and he said he'd come. So we are going to help him, as we have with others, with Rico Dowdle a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
Understand that this is family, and we're just all about showing Chauncey some love. That's the whole thing. You can get behind that, can't you?
Yeah, why not?
Okay, there we are. There we are. There we are. And before I forget, next week, Nicole and I will not be here on Monday because we'll be at the state. Well, I'll be at the stadium.
I'll be there.
You'll be at the stadium.
I'll be there.
Woo!
Woo!
Chauncey will be at the stadium, and then we'll be here Tuesday, but not Chauncey. But Nicole and I will be here next Tuesday for the Cowboys Hour. And I have to say this. I'd love to do this every year, but the Star District, they do such an amazing job of putting you in a holiday mood. What they do with the plaza right out in front of the Ford Center and the trees and the lights and the whole Star District area is lit up, it's fabulous. It's a great place to come and bring the family and spend an evening. And then you come in here to Sidecar Social and you see the 75 amazing TV screens where you can watch a little bit of everything. And the food and drinks are great. It's terrific. So come on out. We're glad to have you here. Now, Chauncey's sitting here wondering, why am I here? What do I do? And here's why you're here. I'll tell you why you're here. Because to me, you are a great example of perseverance, of working hard and keeping your head down and doing your best and having that be rewarded with opportunity for you to take advantage of. Chauncey's a third-round pick in the 2021 draft class, which, by the way, as of today, if I'm right about this, there are, depending on what lineup is on the field, there are 3 or 4 of you who are starting right now.
Yeah.
If you get 4 out of 7 or 8 guys starting 4 years down the road, that's a heck of a deal. Go back and look in the books. And Chauncey has been just in a box. We've had this conversation a little bit. He came into a really packed room. Dan Quinn's first year, right?
Yeah. There were some guys in there.
There was a lot of guys, and so it was hard for you to get an opportunity to show them what you could do. So how did you approach that as a rookie? When you look up and you see all these people who are here in front of you, they're older, they've been in the league a long time, then what did you say to yourself to say, okay, here's what I'm going to do to make them notice me?
Okay, so my little situation was a little different because when I arrived to camp, I pulled my hamstring.
Right, I remember.
So I was out for like 6 to 8 weeks, and I had a lot of time to like just sit back and watch pros be pros. And I took a lot of notes from guys like D-Law, D.A., who was an up-and-coming like vet guy. We had Randy, we had Dante Fowler. So like watching all of those guys, it just gave me the tools that I didn't know that I would need like further in my career.
What were some of the notes you took from each guy? Because obviously they all have different games. So what was something you pulled from each one of those guys?
Okay, so D-Law, he was one of those guys that he doesn't like, even right or wrong, when he takes his shot, he's not going to hesitate. Mm-hmm. And it's that hesitation. I'm an overthinker. And I was talking to him about it, and he was like, bro, if you're going to do it like right, wrong, or indifferent, like you're going to make the play or you're not, but just go full speed when you're doing it. Mm-hmm. And that was just one of the things I took from him, plus like his whole working your hand stuff. And then D.A., he was more of the whole keep your head down grind. When your time comes, just ball in that moment. Yeah. Those are two of the guys that I really like paid attention to for the most part.
Remind me, did you pull the hamstring after you got here?
Yeah. So on the first day of the conditioning day
of training camp in Oxnard.
Yeah.
So go to that day. Now here you are, and you've been through the off season, and they drafted you in the 3rd round. You're all Big Ten. They pull your hamstring, and they say, yeah, you're gonna not be doing anything for a little while. And what were you thinking then? It was
weird. Like I didn't know exactly how to take it because it was my first time. Like I didn't have an injury like that during the season, and just having to sit out and just watch guys like go through camp and do the joint practices with like the other teams. Like I want to compete, but if I do that, I'll just be hurt. So yeah, that was a time, most definitely. But I just knew that like if I kept going by what Britt told me to do, I would eventually be able to join my brothers again.
Would you describe yourself as a patient person, basically?
Yeah, and at times I could be patient, but then like I'm like, oh, hold on, could I get cut? Like,
right?
I don't really know how this works, so I'm like, dang, I just got here. Like, they don't really know me. I haven't did anything in pads for this team, so like you hear all the stories, and that was like a doubt. But just talking to the other guys, they're like, bruh, they didn't draft you to just let you go without showing what you could do. So
how hard was it to kind of push away that mindset of, oh man, they can cut me tomorrow?
It was very tough, especially in the times. Like you're just watching all these guys like doing moves you never seen before. You're like, bro, these dudes are crazy. Like, how am I even in a room with these dudes? So like having time to just sit with that, and you're not even able to show what you could do. It was crazy.
And then partly because of the makeup of the room, I think I've got this chronology right. You can correct me. You didn't have a position even when you could get working again. You were a tackle. You were an end. You were strong side and weak side and special teams. You just kind of had to go everywhere, right?
Yeah, but that's a privilege to be able to go everywhere. There are some guys that like from their size they can't play special teams, and there's a lot of guys that make their name in this league from being a core special teams guy. So having the position flexibility to be able to do those things was a great asset.
And how about whether you could concentrate on playing end or tackle?
The whole plan, full-time tackle, was very different because like I played in, and I mostly played in like my entire life, and whenever I played tackle it was just like in pass rushing situations. So being in there, like having to take on a true double team by some guys, like that was crazy. like I want to say like 2 years ago when I first like played tackle for the most part for like that whole season. I was in there with the ones, and I got a double team from Zach and Terrence. I'm like, oh, this is going to be a long camp. But, yeah.
What's the toughest double team you had to go up against when you were playing defensive tackle?
It's most definitely a guy like Zach.
Yep.
Because he's, like, very stout at the point of attack. And, like, I'm a guy that, like, I know I'm not stronger than he is, so I play with, like, my length. And, yeah,
it's tough.
He knows what he's doing. He has all those Pro Bowls for a reason.
So you hadn't seen anything like Zach?
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, him and then Tyler Smith is also really good, and he's coming, like, playing him. It's from the other side of the field, so it's just, yeah.
Can't put it in words.
I got one from him and Terrence, by him and Tyron. Oh, yeah, that was crazy. That was crazy.
Did Tyron ever just get his hands on you?
My rookie year. So when I did come back, I was, you have to do the whole clearance stuff. And I remember I went to bull rush him. And I'm like, I did a stutter bull. I hit him. And he just grabbed me. He started laughing. I'm like, bro, I'm a grown man too. Like, what you grabbing me and just laughing? Like, yeah. It's like, yeah, there's levels to this.
So can you see why we love Chauncey Golston and we're so anxious for everybody to have an opportunity to spend some time with him this evening? We're delighted to be on the Cowboys Hour at Sidecar Social. Nicole.
Yep, I got it right here.
I have to let her boot up her phone because she tries not to use paper for this stuff.
It's fine.
So
I got it. Got you covered.
Yeah, because I vamped. Who's bringing us the opportunity to be here with Chauncey tonight?
I thought you would never ask,
I'm
man.
sorry to beat around the bush.
Albertsons. When it comes time to shop for tailgate favorites, go to Albertsons and Tom Thumb. Get 10% off your groceries every Dallas Cowboys game day when you wear your Cowboys jersey. Albertsons and Tom Thumb, the official supermarket and pharmacy of the Dallas Cowboys.
We are at Sidecar Social at the Star District in Frisco with Chauncey Golston on the Cowboys Hour. We'll be right back.
Back to the Miller Lite Cowboys Hour, supported by Albertsons and broadcasting live from Sidecar Social at the Star in Frisco.
Welcome back. Welcome back to the Cowboys Hour. Thanks to everybody for being with us wherever you are, however you're joining us. Brad Sham, Nicole Hutchison, our very special guest, Cowboys defensive end Chauncey Golston. Let me pull the camera back just a little bit and look at a slightly bigger picture. The defense has played noticeably better the last few weeks. Probably might have something to do with getting some people healthy, but also I think it probably took you guys a little while to figure out exactly what Coach Zimmer was all about, what you were supposed to be doing. But you tell us, Chauncey, what do you think is going on? Why do you think you're playing better as a group, and what do you think for the last third of the season the ceiling is?
So I think we're playing better as a group because there was more of a overall buy-in. Like when you have guys that are coming from a system that they have been in for 3 years, and it was kind of like with all that you like really knew, especially like us younger guys, there's kind of like a pushback. Like you hear new terminology and you're like, oh, we caught this stat, or when we ran a defense that was similar to this, we did that. And like that's not the defense anymore. Like listen to the guy that's making the calls, like buy in, have faith in them, and like we can make these calls come to life.
So the buy-in part, does that happen? Can that happen before you see results on the field?
Yeah, you can, but in this, it's like a result. We're in a results-driven business,
right?
So when you got some people just really need to see that before they can like, oh, okay, this makes sense.
So I'm sorry,
No,
Nicole.
go ahead.
So you come into OTAs and you start to get spoon-fed the new defense, and you getting that all through OTAs and then mini camp, and then you get it all through training camp. And sometimes people don't understand that it sounds like you've been working it a lot and practicing a lot, but you're not playing in a game. And even in preseason, for the ones who play in preseason, you're not getting the same calls that you're going to get in the regular season. Yeah. So what is that learning curve like? How frustrating is it to be able to hold on until you get into live action and then really put it to use?
Yeah, like the craziest part is like, so the coaches know what you're going, like they can coach you all they want, but once you get in between those white lines, like you ultimately have to make the decision. So sometimes you have guys that like, okay, they're supposed to be here, but I want to go there though. And that happens. And like, it's the reality of the business. Like people do that, but over time, like as the season has gone on, we had more guys that are doing exactly what they're supposed to do, and we're getting better results week by week. So
what did it take for you guys to finally buy in? What was that moment where you all said, all right, this works?
It was more so just like how you said, like we were seeing it.
Yeah.
Like we were playing games and we're like, oh, you see this quarter, like we had like no MAs, no MEs, like mental, like missed assignments, like mental errors. And you see like what was happening, like we're getting 3 and out and stuff. And then you will see another quarter and it's like, oh, it's a complete collapse. But you're like, once you look at the film, you're like, oh, this happened, this play, it was a big play, but it was because one guy did that.
But was it someone who said something in the locker room after the game, after you're seeing all those results? Did someone take like a leadership role on that and kind of say, all right, like, you see what we can do, let's keep doing it?
Yeah, but there's not one person that I can just say. It was like this person here, that person there. It was like, and then as a group, we're like, bro, are we just going to sit by and just let this season just slip by? Like, what are we doing? So we're paying more attention to the details in practice, and everybody's just buying in throughout.
Was it harder to get that going without D-Law being on the field?
Was it harder to get that going without D-Law?
Yeah, I mean, it was like week 4, right?
Yeah.
That he went out and he had, hopefully be back next week, but.
That was the thing, like when D-Law and Michael went out at the same time.
Yep.
So there was guys that were coming into that role of playing like an elevated amount of minutes that hadn't really played minutes at all. So that was another thing. So Yeah, it was kind of like a whole thing, like coming into that time without having someone who had been in the league for 10 years and has like been with other coaching staffs and like weathered that storm. So without that like guiding light, it was a little different.
That sounds like a recipe for disaster.
Yeah, it was crazy few weeks.
Would you agree with what Micah had said? I hear what you're saying, but Micah had mentioned that some guys just weren't ready because they weren't expecting to play so early in the season. Would you agree with it being lack of preparation, or was it just kind of like, okay, we're still learning to gel together as a defense?
Yeah, I think it was an overall, like, not lack of preparation, just inexperience in the moment.
Okay.
So, like, we got guys like Marshawn Nealon that was coming in, and he's a rookie.
Yeah.
Like, and he's asked to play, like, 93% of the snaps. Like, that's crazy for, like, a seasoned vet. So, like, asking a rookie to do that. And then just other guys like Tyrus Wheat that he was a undrafted guy last year, and now he's here. Like,
Yeah.
it was a recipe.
You know, when I listen to you describe that, it's always amused me. I'd love to hear your thoughts about this. They're looking for smart players. They're looking for guys who really can get their heads into what's going on. And then when it comes time to play, they don't want you to think.
All reaction.
Right?
Like,
You're supposed to have done all the thinking before the snap, before the game.
and it's hard to do all the thinking before the game, especially when you have teams, offenses that are so multiple. Like, if you go out and you try to prepare for everything they could do, now you're thinking about everything, and that's going to make you play slower. But you can't. So sometimes you just got to let that time of you just playing football just take over, and you just react in the moment.
So where does that leave us, in your opinion? No promises. Nobody's going to hold anybody to anything. But you've got, 5 games left?
Yeah.
So, almost a third of the season. What's the ceiling?
What's the ceiling? Like, winning out is the ceiling, right?
Yeah. But, I mean, how much better can you still get as a group?
Oh, yeah. I don't think that we've played a complete game yet. Like, I think of games like the Eagles game. The first half of that game, we played really good defense. And then the second half, we just collapsed. Like, we just got to stay with the process, no matter if we're, like, getting really good results or really bad. Like, we just have to stick to it. And we keep continuing to put, like, complete games together once we do put a complete game together. And then I think, the ceiling's whew.
How much do y'all feed off of a guy like DeMarvion Overshown when he has a play like he did last week, where he literally tips his own ball, like gets the interception, runs it in for a touchdown? Like, how much do y'all feed off of that?
Okay,
as a
that
defense?
was crazy because so we called that call, and I got an interception off of it the week before.
Yep.
So the very next time that we called it, we got it again. Like, that was crazy, and we were like talking about it on the sideline, and it was like, oh my God. But we always talk about, like, scoring as a defense. And for him to tip the ball to himself and become a receiver, catch it, and run it in, that turned us up.
Yeah, but you looked pretty athletic the week before.
Right?
You stole the ball on the run and just kept going.
Yeah. So as soon as I caught the ball, the running back stepped on my foot, so he, like, pulled my shoe off. So the whole time I was running, I didn't have a shoe.
There should be a penalty for that. It's 15 yards, taking the man's shoe off.
Now you know they won't call that
No,
for
I
us.
know.
Come on.
I know.
Nothing for the defense. We don't get those type of calls.
Okay, I'm going to change the subject for a minute because I want to make sure that I remember to talk about this. And Nicole knows a lot more about it than I do, but this was the day that as a team you went and did the Children's Hospital visits. I think it's one of the best things this club does every year at this time of year. And so what were there, 3 hospitals?
Four.
4 hospitals?
Mm-hmm.
And which one did you go to?
I went to Children's Dallas.
And you were on that ride?
Yeah.
So, Chauncey, you first. Talk about that. What's that do for you?
So, like, growing up, I had 2 trips in the hospital that I spent over a week in the hospital. So having someone come in and, like, just bring a little bit of cheer to your day, because, like, yeah, you would love it, but your parents also have to work. So there's going to be some times where you're just there by yourself or you're just there with a nurse. So just being able to bring that joy in those to those kids in this time of like, in these crazy times when you're not feeling the best, like there's things happening with your body that you can't control, that it's great. So I really enjoy that because I can see myself in those kids, even though like some of my situation was the same as theirs. Like, yeah, I'm happy that I'm blessed with the opportunity to bring joy to these kids.
And you come into a room. How many players come into one room at a time?
It depends. We had a group.
I think it was like 5.
Yeah.
5 or 6. They separated them into 5 or 6 groups
To cover the whole
cover the whole hospital. And for me, it was good to see them in a different light because so many people constantly just see them on the field and what they do for this team. But just seeing them interact with some of the kids and even got to sing songs on their radio station and the TV station that they have in the hospital. And it makes you appreciate because for myself, like I've never been in the hospital. I've never had an injury. And I've been blessed. So it makes you really just appreciate that.
So you walk into a room with 4 of your teammates. A cheerleader or two, yeah?
Yeah.
And all y'all are wearing your jerseys. And what do you see on the faces of those kids when you walk in the door?
Just pure joy. Like they're your biggest fans, and they're just so ecstatic to see you. And the parents are happy because they just know that once you leave, they're going to be talking about you for the next few days. And even though like that's a small little 2-3 minute interaction for you, it's a lifetime of joy for them.
And speaking of that, I was in the group with Zeke, and there was one little girl in the hospital bed, and she was sleeping. And Zeke had said one thing and just touched her, and she woke up. It was so sweet. It was very sweet to see. So, yeah.
Kudos to you guys, not only for doing it, but for the enthusiasm and you've done it now for 4 years. Mm-hmm. You do it because they say we're going to do this, so you go do it. But then when you get there, you find out why you're doing it, right? So, if you didn't know before.
Yeah, we did this at Iowa too. So like I'm not new to it, and I've always loved like being able to go and talk to these kids and just bring a little joy to them.
In fact, is it not at Iowa where there was a unit that the kids were really sick and the players turned around and
and we waved to them.
And you waved to them.
Yeah.
Was that a COVID thing or was it a cancer ward?
No, it was. This happened. I want to say I don't know if it was the COVID year or the year before COVID, but someone like posted on Facebook like it would be a really great idea to like wave to the kids that are on. I can't remember what floor, but the floor looks right into the stadium, and like at the end of the first quarter, like wave to the kids.
All of the whole Iowa team turns around, looks up to the floor where the kids are. They know you're going to turn around and look, and everybody waves.
Mm-hmm. It's a great tradition.
Wow.
That's about the coolest thing ever. And so congratulations to you and your teammates for what you do when you continue to do this.
Appreciate that.
Thank you. All right, Chauncey Golston's our guest. We're on the Cowboys Hour at Sidecar Social at the Star District in Frisco. We'll be right back.
Back to the Miller Lite Cowboys Hour, supported by Albertsons and broadcasting live from Sidecar Social at the Star in Frisco.
All right, welcome back into Cowboys Hour here at Sidecar. Nicole, Hutchison, Brad, Sham, and the one and only Chauncey Golston. And this segment is brought to you by Lucchese. Stand tall while you're tailgating or cheering in the stands with the Dallas Cowboys collection by Lucchese. Shop the collection today at Lucchese's 6 DFW locations or online at lucchese.com. Lucchese, the official boot of the Dallas Cowboys and Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders. All right, we're going to switch gears a little bit. You're from Detroit. Detroit, Michigan. What was it like growing up in Detroit?
Cold.
Aside from that.
Let's see. Detroit was, I don't know, Detroit's home.
Yeah.
Like, I don't really, how was Detroit? It was just regular to me.
Regular.
Like, how
Okay.
how would you describe your home?
I'm from Houston. It's pretty awesome. There's great food. Love the
Right,
food.
right.
Dang, what's funny? No, the food's great. Yeah, it's home. That's a great question. How would I describe it?
Yeah.
I mean, it's nothing like home, right?
That's what I'm saying. Like, that's with my family. Like,
So when you play the Lions, is there some extra juice?
so being from Detroit, you got to remember, I'm growing up when the Lions were going like 0-16. So, like, I didn't go to a Lions game.
Okay.
It wasn't a thing to do because they were like really bad, and like you watch the game, you're like, oh, Megatron's gonna go off, but I don't know if we're gonna win.
Okay.
But it was that was a time. That was a time.
Interesting.
Are you and Jordan Lewis from the same part of town?
No, we're not from the same part of town. I honestly don't know where Jordan lived at. I have no clue where he lived at.
I don't know.
No, he stayed on the west side. Yeah, we're not from the same side.
How did you not go to Michigan or Michigan State?
I didn't even have that offer. So
Seriously?
that wasn't even an option. And I'm glad because even if I did have that offer, I didn't want to be like a hometown guy.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Why?
I just like I like the thought of going out somewhere and having to conquer it on my own. So going to Iowa with only knowing 2 people, that was cool to me.
Now, Iowa's cold.
Iowa's cold. Michigan's cold. When you're from the north, you just put on more layers.
Yeah, I'm originally from Chicago. It's been about 9 million years since I lived there, but it's not all the same. Were you a football fan, a pro football fan as a kid in high school?
In high school,
Whether it was the Lions or not. I mean, did you watch college football?
oh, it's crazy. I was a Seahawks fan growing up.
Okay.
And it was only because of their colors. Like, I just like the colors.
That's cool.
That green.
Yeah.
I love that.
That
Whenever I
foam
played
green,
Madden, I
yeah.
had to get that. And it was crazy that like I was drafted by DQ, who was their coordinator.
Right.
Yeah, that was nice.
How far is Seattle from Detroit?
Far.
Oh, it's a ways.
Far? Oh, I
It's
was
a
going to
ways.
say if you were ever had a chance to go to a game.
It's
but
about a 6-hour flight.
JK. Never mind.
That
Well,
was-
you weren't catching a 6-hour flight? It's fine.
No.
No worries. Did you ever go to any pro games as a kid?
No, my first pro game was a preseason game for the Cowboys.
That you played in?
Wow.
I didn't play. I was hurt at that time.
Oh,
So
but I mean,
wa-
you're on the team.
Yeah.
It's your rookie year.
So I watched that from the press box, and yeah, that was my first pro game. It was nice. It was nice. I'm like, oh, I see. Everything is bigger in Dallas.
Now, this will sound funny to some people, but it turns out it's not that unusual. Are you a football fan?
Yes, I'm a football fan, but in my spare time, I don't watch football.
There you go.
I'm more of an anime guy. So I watch anime, play with my dog, and I'll watch football if, like, my brother wants to watch football, or if it's on, I'll watch it. Like, if it's on, like, I usually know somebody from every team, so I'll watch it. But for the most part, I don't really watch other people. Like, I have film to watch, so if I'm going to watch football, might as well watch it if I'm going to be playing.
You follow Iowa?
Yeah, because, I have a little
Good.
skin in that game.
Absolutely you do. Absolutely you do. All right, anime. You came in same draft class as Osa.
Yeah.
Which of you is more expert about anime? Which knows the most?
Who knows the most? I don't know if there's either one of us knows more, but we're both fans. I'm not gonna like say that he knows more, I know more. That's my guy.
Do you guys go? You guys go to that convention, right?
Yeah.
Every year, or is it
We've gone twice.
twice?
Yeah.
What's that experience like for y'all?
It's cool. You get to see like the unveiling of games, and you get to see like a whole bunch of different like little shops that like people make. So they make like art,
Okay.
and you get to buy those pieces, and also you get to see like a whole bunch of cosplay, and see like people put a whole bunch of time into like making these costumes. I couldn't do it. That's not how I like to spend my time like doing that. I'm not very creative, but no, it's really dope to see in person.
Do you have an anime character that kind of resonates with you the most?
That resonates most with me? No, but I have I have characters that I like, but I don't really think about it that way.
Okay.
So I'll probably think about that and give me a character.
What are those characters that you like?
So my favorite show is One Piece, and their main character is Monkey D. Luffy, and yeah, that's my guy.
Okay.
All the rest of you
Really?
just join in whenever you feel moved to participate. The anime conventions, you go to the ones here? Mm-hmm. So my son is a big anime fan. He's been to a couple of those. You and Osa would stand out in the crowd at an anime convention.
Yeah, most definitely we do. But a lot of those guys, like, they're not really, like, there's no judgment.
Right.
So, like, you're just another guy.
You're just a guy.
Yeah.
That's dope.
So
Which is cool.
I love that. I love that. You're just another nameless face. And I enjoy being that. Like, just sitting here watching guys play the game, watching, like, I enjoy it.
So one, then, it seems to me, possible advantage for the role you've played on the team in the last 3+ years is, like, I bet D-Law cannot go to a mall.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
Right?
I was talking to CD about that.
Yeah.
And like how you can't do anything that like a regular person can do. I go to Chipotle and I'd be good. I don't have to.
So you've never had any fans like come up to you in public places?
Listen, if you come up to me and you don't know that like who I am, they're like, "Oh, you play football?" Nah, I wish.
But they'll get a different reaction if they say, "You're Chauncey Golston."
Yeah.
You know what?
Right.
I'm all about that. I'm all about that.
Because whenever you say it, it's like, I don't know if they say it, but they kind of say it a little loud. And then other people see me and they're like, look. And I'm like, nah, I wish.
Has that changed at all as you have played a more prominent role on the team?
It's different with like football is to like how basketball would be.
Say more.
Like, so everybody can see your face. So it's not until like you make a big play and you take your helmet off and go to the sideline and they show you on camera. It's different. Like football, you know the guy, you know like the main people that they always show on the commercials and all of that stuff. And then everybody else, some people know you, other people don't. But like for a guy like me, I love that because like I'm shy, so all those interactions are a bit much.
Don't you think he's doing great for a guy who's shy? I mean, outstanding. We're going to take our last break, and we'll be back with questions from our audience and more with Chauncey Golston of the Cowboys when we continue on the Cowboys Hour.
Back to the Miller Lite Cowboys Hour, supported by Albertsons and broadcasting live from Sidecar Social at the Star in Frisco.
Welcome back, everybody. Thank you for joining us, whether you're here at Sidecar Social or on the Cowboys Radio Network or on DallasCowboys.com. I'm Brad Sham with Nicole Hutchison, our very special guest, Chauncey Golston, who, if he's still shy, is overcoming it magnificently. I mean, really, you got it handled, you know.
I stopped sweating.
There you are. I told you. I told you. So here, this is a question I wanted to ask you for 4 years. It's just never been appropriate. Is there an old family story to the name of Chauncey?
No, I never even asked that. I'm not going to lie. I don't really be asking many questions. I just go with the vibes.
I mean, were there a lot of Chaunceys in your schools?
No. So, like, usually whenever I hear, like, Chauncey, I'm like, did somebody say my name? Like, I don't really hear my name much. So, yeah, it surprises me whenever I hear my name.
Okay. Do you like having a distinctive name?
Yeah. And set for, like, when I'm ordering stuff, and I'd be like, Chauncey, and they'd be like, Johnson. I'd be like,
No.
okay.
We'll go with that.
I just say CJ.
There you go. All right. Okay, let's. This man's name is not Chauncey. Let's get a question from him.
But it's pretty close. Rambo. Good evening, Chauncey.
What's up?
So since you are shy and you are from Detroit, have you become buddies or kind of gotten to hang around with the bad boys of Detroit, like Lambeer and Dumars and Rodman?
That's so far
Yeah,
ahead of
that's-
his. What are you doing, man?
That's first of all, I'm not a basketball guy. Like, I don't have a basketball team. I'm not a fan of any team. Whatever team LeBron's on, I'm a fan of that team. But I've been to a lot of Mavs games, so
There you
I'm
go.
a Mavs fan now. And no, those guys are, that's before my time.
A few years.
Just ask him something. I'm Googling something.
Wait, so you never thought about
I'm really
playing basketball?
disappointed in Rambo for
Like
that
was
question.
something that you never. So you never played basketball, nothing.
Like, I played pickup basketball, but
Okay.
I quit playing basketball when I was in 3rd grade. I had a coach that was, like, really mean, and at that time, I don't know if I was, like, mentally tough enough. So I quit, and I didn't look back.
But you had a head coach in high school, Coach Rod Oden,
Yeah.
who has been played an integral part in your success and your growth. Talk a little bit about him.
That's my guy. I just talked to him probably like 3 days ago. He was one of those guys that, like, when you look for somebody that's going to show you the right way to do it, like teaching you life lessons as not just a football player, but like as a man, and like principles that you need to stand on. Mm-hmm. So like you can further your life and progress down the road. That was a guy to look to. That's my man.
And he also helped, your mom help you afford football camps growing up as well.
Mm-hmm.
Just talk about that.
Yeah, so I don't know how he did it, but I didn't really have to pay for the camps that, like, when I was in high school, and he it wasn't just like I wasn't I was special, but he did it for everybody, and he still does it to this day. Like, he gives guys like a light, knowing that like paying for these camps all the time like that, it gets expensive just for exposure. And like, credit to all the parents out there that foot that bill. But I'm happy that I was fortunate enough to be in a situation with a coach that he had done so much footwork in the past that like what he said like really stood out to those coaches, and they were like, okay, we're going to let a couple of your guys like participate in our camp for free.
You had some skin in that too, because you were also cutting grass to
Yeah,
make some money.
That's when I was little.
But it still played a part of it,
Yeah.
He was making money at 10 years old. He was cutting grass to go and play attend football camp. So I think that's pretty dope, right?
Do you think he saw something in you?
So I had Coach Oden. So I had him as my English teacher my 9th grade year. And he used to always give me stuff because I played for, like, the Eastside Giants. And he used to always call me Little Giant. And, yeah, ever since then, though, like, I didn't think he was going to let me, like, play for him. because the amount of stuff that he was talking. But once I became part of the team, we're like a family ever since.
What are you, 26?
Yeah.
Where's Rambo? Where the hell's Rambo?
Rambo, it's right there.
He's 26. The end of the Bad Boys era was 30 years ago. Why are you asking him what he knows about Bill Lambier?
I heard about him.
Well, he's heard about, but you never got a chance to see him play.
Oh my
Come on, Rambo. Come on. We're gonna chalk that up to a little excess turkey at Thanksgiving, and we expect more next week. And from you, go ahead.
Larry from McKinney, how you doing?
I'm doing great. How about yourself?
Well, I want to know if you have any hidden secrets the public is not aware as far as hidden talents, singing, dancing, magic tricks. What you got?
Ooh.
No, I don't really have any of that. I'm pretty cut and dry. It is what it is. My hidden talent is being tall.
I'm sorry to tell you that's not hidden.
Yeah.
That's not so hidden.
Yeah, I'm not really. I don't have any of that.
Okay, this is a really long weekend for you guys. I kind of like, you tell me if it works for you, the way Mike McCarthy is handling from Thanksgiving. You've had many buys before, but the way you're fortunate, first of all, to have a Monday night game following it, so he's turned it into almost a second bye week, right?
Yeah, we're very fortunate because before that we played 3 games in 10 days. And usually it's 3 games in 11 days, but this year was even shorter, and that's really taxing on your body. You see people get injured, and you see the people that get injured that are on TV. Oh, they stopped the game for that. But there's many guys that are just hurt and they just power through it, and then playing a game after a game after a game. That is tough. That is tough, and you don't have no time to recover. And you're people oh, you're a pro athlete, you make all this money. I'm still human like you. When you wake up and your knees hurt, your ankles hurt, that's just from you living regular life. I throw my body at other grown men. That's
who are trying to do you harm.
Yeah, so those mornings are tough.
So he has, what'd you do today, and then you have a regular day off tomorrow and a light day Wednesday, is that right?
Yeah. So, yeah, that's exactly right. You know the schedule better than me.
Well, I mean, you just told it to us today. So I have talked to a lot of guys over time before everybody played on Thursday, when only the Cowboys and the Lions regularly played on Thanksgiving. And it's interesting to hear guys talk about how they had to kind of trick their bodies into believing that it's a different day of the week than it is. Because a lot of guys say Thursday is about the first day I feel even halfway human.
Yeah, and it's usually your body starts getting back Friday, Saturday, and then, back to war.
So right now, do you feel like you're almost on vacation?
No. No.
Good.
Vacation is it's a stretch. We're in the heart of the season.
Yes, you are.
So I have, what's this, week 14? Mm-hmm. So I have 13 weeks of damage.
Yeah. By the way, speaking of vacation, didn't Osa tell us, Nicole, that he is not a vacation guy?
Yeah.
He does not want to travel.
Yep.
He didn't. How about you? You like to go places?
So I want to travel. I just got my passport last year. And
First time?
Yeah. So I went to Mexico, and I plan on going more places this off season. So.
Where?
I want to go to Singapore.
Why?
Because it's beautiful. I seen this movie, Crazy Rich Asians. Made that place look so beautiful. I gotta go there.
It's a movie, you know.
Yes. Listen, all the pictures that I looked at.
Okay.
They have a beautiful botanical garden. Got to go there. Got to see that.
Okay.
So I want to go there. I want to go to Australia. I want to go to Japan. Where else do I want to go?
Why Australia? Why Japan?
I want to go to Australia because I remember growing up in the Animal Planet, and they had the top 10 crazy stuff.
I never watched Animal Planet. So no.
I used to watch that. With my dad.
That's what happens when you're from Houston.
Oh my gosh!
It's crazy.
That's crazy.
No, it's crazy.
So is not ever having watched Animal Planet. I'm
Animal
sorry.
Planet was great.
Right?
Growing up, I was watching Disney Channel, so like I didn't really watch Animal Planet. Sorry.
It's okay. There's no judgment over here.
Or here
I feel like
either.
you're judging.
Here
There's a
either.
lot of judgment going on.
So I want to go there, see what it's like in the down under. Plus, I had a teammate that was from Australia. So,
In college.
yeah, he's a really good punter. He's really doing his thing with the Bears.
So, is that your guy? Mm-hmm. The high pick. Mm-hmm. I mean,
Torrey Taylor.
Those guys who played Australian rules football are really kind of able to adapt to punting,
Yeah.
and they're valuable.
That dude, he was a secret weapon. He was one of those, like, you know how they show, like, the secret weapons for the game? Yeah, he was one of those guys.
All right, we've only got about a minute left. You are where you are as a team. You are where you are. Season's been what it's been. You've won a couple. I presume everybody's feeling a little bit better about things. How do you approach what's left of the season? What do you think's possible?
Take it day by day, and, you know, you go out there and you give it your all, and where the chips fall at the end of the season is where they fall. You just got to go out there and give it your all and buy in as much as you can.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead. What does a successful season for Chauncey Golston look like?
Are we talking like individual or?
Individual.
I don't really think that way.
So you're all about the team.
Yeah, I'm not really like, oh, I did this.
I like that.
Unless I score a touchdown, like Overshawn.
Or a
Okay.
2-point conversion catch.
Yeah, I did that though.
Yeah, I know. I was there. I know. I remember. Hey, listen, you have been phenomenal. Nicole and I just said to each other during the last break, this is feels like 15 minutes. It's flown
Went by
by,
fast.
and it's because of you. You've been great, and we can't thank you enough. Appreciate
See?
you.
Getting love from the fans.
Just enjoy the week and take it day by day. And next thing you know, we'll see you on the field Monday night against the Bengals.
Thanks.
All right.
For having me.
Thank you, everybody, for being with us. Thanks. One more round of applause for Chauncey Golston. It's just been fantastic. And you can come here Monday night if you're not going to the game. Watch the game, bring your radio, listen to it on the radio. And then Nicole and I will be back here next Tuesday on the next Cowboys Hour.
Hey,
This
Dallas.
has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about this,